Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're having another video. Thank you for tuning in. Alright, so for today's paper it is May June's 2019, paper 1, variant 2. Alright, so I will try to do the other variants, but for now I would like to start with variant 2 since it's mostly common in the place I am in. Alright, so let's begin. Okay, so again, paper 1 is unlike paper 2 as well. There's 4 case studies and they're all in the same paper. So you do not need a separate paper. Okay? So, question number 1. PLK is a social enterprise which offers training to young people who leave school with no qualifications. The young people are trained by PLK's chefs to prepare food which is sold at local markets or sporting events. Choosing the right method of promotion is important. The manager of PLK thinks that to increase profit, it is better to raise prices rather than use cheaper food ingredients. Okay, so it is actually very helpful if you would highlight important terms or statements, but for now I think I'm not gonna highlight them. All right, so let's continue. So part A, okay, our usual definition question. Define or what is meant by social enterprise. Okay, so we all know what is an enterprise. Okay, social enterprise, however, is a business with both social objectives as well as aims to make profit. So an enterprise is a business that aims to make profit. Social enterprise also goes by social objectives. Okay, so if you were to write an organization which has social objectives, only that, you'll only get 1 mark. And if you write business that aims to help or benefit society, you only get 1 mark. If you write organization whose primary or main goal um, objective is social and any profit made is reinvested, okay, you can get 2 marks. So your key terms here, it's you have to state that the business has social objectives. The other one is that you have to make sure to state that this business has something else in mind, which is also profit, which is basically the definition of enterprise. All right, so next, all right, so we'll definitely gonna come back here for the stable. All right, but anyways, okay, what is meant by fixed costs? Okay, costs that do not change with level of activity. Okay, you'll get 2 marks for this one. So 1 mark for the costs that do not change, and then level of activity. Okay. Okay, if you were to write costs which have to be paid whether produce any products or not, is possible. So fixed cost is something that you always have to pay, unlike variable costs, right? So even if you did make profit or you didn't, these costs have to be paid. Just like renting, for example, the shop's rent. Doesn't matter what you made, you still have to pay the rent, right? All right. Part C, calculate PLK's weekly profit. Okay, this is I think this is simple. So again, if you were to just like show the final step, which is this. Okay, there's two ways to calculate this, by the way. All right, you'll get 4 marks. But I think it's better to show it this way. It also shows that you actually understand more, and also it helps you not confuse yourself. So first you have to calculate your total revenue. All right, so the number of meals sold per this week or per week, 1,000. Okay, 1,000 meals. And the price per meal is $3, so you just have to do the normal math. So you get $3,000. So this is the revenue, okay? So this is not the profit yet. Okay, so next what you have to do is that you also You also have to add the variable cost per meal, which is $2. So you have to also times it with 1,000. So it's $2,000. And then plus 300. So what is the 300? 300 is the fixed cost per week. So it doesn't matter. Again, it doesn't matter what you did. You still have to pay this fixed cost. So this fixed cost could be rent, like I said, or like other important stuff, like for example, gas or oil to cook the food. These are things that you have to pay for because your product would not be made without these anyways. Okay? So when you plus these, you get this number. So in order to find the final profit is you have to subtract these two, which is 700. Another way you can do this is just simply subtract 1,000 minus 300 and you'll just get 700. But I feel like that step is not very clear for some of you. Okay, so yeah. One more thing, even if you just write 700, you'll still get um 4 marks because it clearly didn't state sure you're working here. Okay, so this is it for part C. Moving on. We're moving on to the 6-mark questions, okay? All right. Identify and explain 2 methods of promotion PLK might use to increase sales. Okay, so there's so many answers. All right, so there's a few limitations for like for the answers though. Um, Anyways, okay. So there is application here. All right, so you have to apply. Applications such as social enterprise, chefs or cooks or kitchen, you can use these words, meals or food, local markets or sports events, and stuff like that. Okay, so you're not awarded any mark, which may simply say cut or reduce prices, or like discounts or sales promotion on its own, because it's too obvious, it's too vague, all right? Do not also state that above above or below the line, as this is too obvious as well. So there's other things that you can say besides what I wrote here. So I wrote advertising social media to raise awareness about this social enterprise. So to raise awareness is the explanation. This is why you advertise on social media or any other thing. Okay, you can't really put this here, but I just made it to show you guys. You can actually write social media advertising just like that if you want, or you can say newspaper or leaflet. But I'm just showing you this because this is a general answer. I want you guys, you can choose if you want. You can write anything, but for me, I here just put social media just as an example. But when answering this in your exam, you should write the example. You cannot put the example as like a side answer. It has to be the example. So for method 1, you can write social media advertising. There's no brackets, there's no commas, there's nothing. It has to be there. And then, of course, they all have the same explanation, those advertising methods, which is to raise awareness. All right. So, another thing I chose is public relationships. Okay. So, which can help boost the brand image? All right. You can add more things here, like um, maybe you can also talk about the local markets or sport events. I did not add that here, but you should add application as well. I just wrote this to show you how the answer should be written here, but you still have to apply. I only applied here though. Okay, so other things you can also talk about is maybe free gifts, um, coupons, buy one free get one free, these things. Although you have to make it in details, you can just write the thing itself again because it's too simple that you're not going to be awarded any mark. um Sponsorships is okay as well, but sponsorship is exactly like public relationships, so they cannot be both here. It has to be one. Okay. You can also talk about loyalty cards schemes, like to encourage customers to return many times. Like for example, you have those shops that, whether it's a fast food shop or a coffee shop, they would have a card, right? I don't know, like, each shop has their own way of utilizing this card. Maybe you can put your change in this card, or you can get a certain percentage off your price or your receipt, something like that. It depends. So this, you can also talk about this, okay? Last part of question number one is part E. All right, another 6 mark question. Okay, do you agree with PLK's manager that to increase profit, it is better to raise prices rather than use cheaper ingredients? Okay, this is a nice question. I feel like this is easy to talk about. Okay, again, you also need to apply here. Okay, there's some limitations, and also the applications here are pretty much the same with the previous question. So you can mention the social enterprise, you can talk about the cooks, the food, blah blah blah. All right. Okay, so you're not gonna be given marks, which that when you simply state that lower or like higher quality would lead to fewer or more sales. Okay. uh, as like when talking about more sales, as in they will impact on the brand image or something like that, you can't talk about that. You also cannot talk about cheaper materials might not taste as good or like taste bad. It's not that rewarding. I don't think you can get any marks. All right. So things, okay, so if you support the idea of raising prices, you could say that there will be less customers. Okay, this is the backlash. Okay, the side effect of this. Okay, um resulting in lower revenue. Okay, of food or something like that. uh Lower break even point, which is also another con. Okay, the advantages of raising prices, you can talk about people could be willing to pay higher price because they will think it's for a good deal. Higher price may suggest better quality. It's also possible. You don't have to talk about what the food tastes like or something like that's not necessary. Again, you're not gonna be given any marks. Cheaper ingredients, okay, so will lower the variable cost, which will lower total costs, but it could improve profit margin, so that is an advantage. It could lower quality, okay, damaging reputation, leading to fewer sales. Okay, I know, like, this is like very similar to the one I told you, like you cannot write. It's just that when you talk about the taste of the food or something like specific about the product is not that rewarding. Okay, so for me, I chose to side with um, raising prices because it has definitely more advantages in my opinion. So I think raising prices is better, as people could be willing to pay higher prices as they think it's for a good cause. Since it's a social enterprise, plus higher price could suggest better quality. Okay. However, this may lead to fewer customers since people could not afford it, resulting in lower revenue. Okay, or you can also talk about the fact that um, it lowers the break even point. So, yeah. Okay, so this is all for this question. Next, question number two. Okay, J and K makes pottery, including plates and bowls, um, for the mass market using batch production. Quality control is important. J&K has 30 unskilled employees. Okay, this is a very important term, who are all paid to the legal minimum wage. Okay, so they're paid to the legal minimum wage, no above, no below. J&K uses job enrichment to keep workers motivated. Due to an increase in demand, J&K is planning to replace its old machines with new technology. The managing director thinks that some of the low-cost materials purchased by J&K are produced using child labor. One of J&K's competitors has recently introduced a new ethical policy. Okay, so being ethical, of course, there's no such thing as child labor, right? So which means that J&K could likely suffer from this. All right. All right, so part A. What is meant by mass market? Okay, we all know this. Selling the same product to the whole market or to everyone. All right. Um, what else can you write here? You can say selling the whole market, selling to the whole market, or sell to everyone. Like I said, selling to, or you can say selling the same product to the whole market. Also can. If you were to write lots of customers or lots of sales or lots of blah 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 buyers, you're only gonna get 1 mark. Okay. Um, what is meant by job enrichment? Making more challenging, making making work more challenging by giving extra work or enhancing the job. There's more things to do, or there's more interesting things to do. Making work more challenging or difficult or giving workers more responsibility. You only get 1 mark if you write any of those that I mentioned. You have to make it specific, okay? You can say adding tasks that require high skill or more responsibility. Also, it's possible. Okay, so this is it for part B. Now let's go to part C. All right, so you have to identify and explain 2 ways in which employees at J and K could be affected by the introduction of new technology. All right, so this is simple. You could just use logic. There's nothing to memorize. But if you would like, again, it would be nice to memorize from your textbook if there's anything related to this. Okay, so way one or one way, safer working conditions. Okay, as old machines will be replaced. Okay, so if there's old machines that, for example, do not work or like are slow or something like that, I mean, they could actually harm the workers, and also they will be, the products are not going to be as accurate. Okay, another way of in which employees could be affected is uh, possible redundancy. Okay, loss of job for some of the 30 employees. Okay, you can say receive higher pay. Can. Mm, what else? Lower okay, it could be higher or lower motivation. It's up to you what you think is better. Okay, if you said higher motivation, as they may create more opportunities for job enrichment, or you can say less opportunities. It depends on the working style of this business. So any more or less, you can write any, but you can't write both at the same time. You have to write one of them. Okay. um okay, so part D. Identify and explain 2 ways other than new technology that J&K could use to increase output. Okay, they can find in many ways. I chose training and improve layout. By layout, the meaning how the business is rearranged, their space is rearranged. You can also talk about taking over another company or expand their current site. You can say uh, employ more workers or make workers work for longer hours also is possible, or employ specialists or skilled workers as current workers are not skilled. You can also talk about that. Okay, for training, so employees will likely to make fewer mistakes and be able to increase productivity when making plates. All right, so if you were expected to talk there about the negative things about training, of course it's going to be costing a lot, and especially if it's on the job. Okay, not really, it's actually both. It's either on the job or off the job. If it's on the job, the business is gonna lose kind of more because, like, first they're losing maybe the products. The final product could be damaged as the workers are training, which actually could in fact tarnish their reputation. Unlike off the job, yes, it's more expensive to train off the job, but at least it's somewhere safer and further away from the actual business. Okay, so way two. Improve layout. So less time is wasted moving semi-finished goods around or moving anything around at this point. If the place of the working station is crowded, it's not gonna be easy and it's gonna I mean some people are gonna find it hard and they may fall into accidents, all right? So, last part of question number 2, do you think J&K should become more ethical? All right. Justify your answer. Okay, so I think J&K being ethical is good. Many customers want to support ethical business. This is one point. So they may be willing to pay higher prices for its pottery, leading to higher revenue. Okay, so however, they may not be able to find suitable ethical suppliers. In addition, they could lose sales to competitors. All right. You can also talk about customers may boycott the business, leading to lower brand image or reputation, which may decrease market share. Um, okay, this is a disadvantage, the one I stated. You can say opportunity for new source of finance would allow increased capital from ethical investors who do not want to be linked with businesses using child labor and stuff like that. Okay, so anything is fine as long as you know how to like write your answer. It's all right. So for this one, it's 6 marks. You'll be for in my case, this is gonna be for the justification 2 marks here, and there's 4 here. Okay, but it could be 5-1 or sometimes 3-3. It depends. But I feel like the usual and most common marking allocation for part E is most likely 4 and 2. All right, you guys, this is it for this video. I'll be posting the next part soon for this video, which includes question number 3 and 4. Okay, thank you for watching. Have a nice day.